Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Camping season is finally here. Thank goodness for that. And today we are tackling one of the last major steps in getting your RV ready for the road, de-winterizing the plumbing system. For those of you that are new to RVing, or maybe this is a little bit of a confusing time of year for you as you're getting things ready for the camping season, be sure to follow along with our de-winterization series where we've broken down the entire process step by step. Now, every RV owner seems to have a slightly different approach, but today I'm going to cover how we de-winterize our plumbing system at the campground as we kick off our very first trip of the season. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear idea how to flush the antifreeze from your plumbing lines, return your water heater to service, pressurize the water system, and of course, check for leaks. I hope you have no leaks. I hope we have no leaks. So let's get started. Before turning on any water, there are a few things that you'll want to check. First, you want to make sure that all low point drains are closed. You want to make sure the freshwater tank drain is closed. And you also want to make sure that your water heater drain plug or anode rod has been reinstalled if it was removed for winter storage. And one important thing I want to talk about here, if you have a traditional tank water heater in your RV, you want to make sure your water heater remains off during this process. You never want to power up a water heater until you've confirmed it's completely full of water. Once everything is buttoned up, connect to your campground water source or fill your freshwater tank and prepare to use your water pump. And now it's time to get rid of all of that pink antifreeze. RV antifreeze is non-toxic and it is safe for your plumbing system. That's why we're using it. But obviously we don't want it to be hanging around inside our lines once camping season has started. So let's get rid of it. If you're using your onboard water tank, you want to fill it about halfway with fresh water and turn on the water pump. If you're connecting to city water, simply pressurize the system once you're hooked up, and let's start opening those fixtures one at a time. A good rule of thumb is to begin with the fixture that is furthest away from your water source. In our RV, that is the shower that's inside our bathroom or the outside spray port that's on the opposite side of the camper. You want to open the cold side first and let it run until the water is completely clear. And then you will do the same thing with the hot side. And warning, it is going to sputter and spray all over the place. So I tend to keep it a little on the low side. I don't open it the whole way. From there, you're going to want to work your way through the rest of the RV. You definitely want to make sure that you hit, if you have an outside shower, hit that. You want to make sure you get your bathroom shower, bathroom sink, the toilet, and then of course the kitchen sink. If your RV has a black tank flush connection or any additional spray ports, don't forget to flush those as well. Continue until every fixture runs clear and there are no traces of pink antifreeze left in your system. Now, keep in mind that all this water is ending up in your gray and your black tanks. So depending on how much flushing is required, you may need to be dumping those tanks a little sooner rather than later. Once the plumbing lines are clear, it's time to bring the water heater back online. Locate your water heater bypass valves. These are usually found directly behind the water heater and were likely switched into bypass mode during winterization. To return the water heater to normal operation, open the cold water supply valve going into the tank, open the hot water outlet valve coming out of the tank, and close the center bypass valve. If you're unsure which valves to adjust, your owner's manual should show you the correct configuration. Now head inside and open a hot water faucet. As water begins filling the tank, you will hear sputtering through the faucet. Leave that faucet open until a steady stream of water flows without sputtering. That is your confirmation that the water heater is completely full. Only after you have confirmed the tank is full should you turn the water heater back on. Okay, so that was the process for a traditional tank water heater. We have a tankless water heater, and for our particular unit, what we do is we reinsert the drain plug, we turn it on, and it is included within the process of flushing the pink antifreeze through those lines. So it is hooked up, ready to go before we even turn on that first faucet. I would say to make sure you're following the correct process for your particular water heater, refer to your owner's manual, definitely, because there are so many different models out there. You want to make sure you're doing it the correct way for your specific equipment. The final step is making sure that everything survived winter storage without any surprises. With the system fully pressurized, open and close every faucet and fixture. Then you want to inspect everywhere. Under the sinks, around the water pump, near those low point drains, around the water heater, any visible area where there are plumbing connections, you want to be checking those out. A flashlight and a dry paper towel can help you spot even the smallest of leaks. One of the easiest tests is simply listening to that water pump if you're hooked up to that. When the faucets are all closed, the pump should not be running and it should stay off. If you hear it turning on, chances are you have a small leak somewhere. And that's it. Your RV plumbing system is officially de-winterized and ready for this camping season. The process sounds intimidating at first, especially if you've never done it before. But once you've gone through it a couple of times, it just becomes second nature and another part of your spring RV routine. Now, if you're actually going to use that freshwater tank of yours for boondocking or dry camping, there is one more step that I highly recommend before the season starts, and that is sanitizing your entire freshwater system. We will be covering that process in a separate video where we'll walk through exactly what you need to do to sanitize your freshwater tank, your plumbing lines, and the water heater so that everything is safe and ready to use. And I will link to that video right here once it's live. If today's video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Have you already taken your first camping trip of the season, or are you still getting your RV ready? Thank you so much for watching today, and we'll see you in the next video.